This is Dustin from Brand Personalization Radio, and a common question that I get is on website performance and site speed. I get a lot of callers that ask about how to speed up their website. They have read all these articles and they've implemented caching with Super Cache or Total Cache or one of these other plugins for WordPress, and it seems like no matter what they do or what they try, it slows it down even more. Or even if they have it optimized to the gills, they're still not getting the performance that they need. And usually the common culprit is the web hosting environment itself. So usually the people are on a shared plan at HostGator or Bluehost or one of these other places, and I tried to explain that a shared hosting environment is very limited. Not only are there many people on the same machine, the machine is set up for general hosting. So it doesn't matter what kind of application that you're trying to host, it's set up to run a little bit of everything. And because of that, it cannot perform optimally. So today I wanted to give a quick demonstration of the differences between a shared hosting environment, regardless of what the hosting is, and a performance-based web host. So I'm going to introduce you to SPCM Network and Supreme Press if you're not already familiar, and also introduce you to my friend James Webmore. A while back he launched a course for Video Traffic Academy, and he was very successful in the launch, and since he was teaching others on how to drive traffic to their website, he had to be able to accept that kind of traffic as well. So with the new launch that is about to come out, he went ahead and built up everything at Bluehost, and now that it's about ready for production, he's moving everything over to the network, so that way everything's going to be really fast. And this is going to be an awesome opportunity to show the difference between a performance server and general hosting or shared hosting, because an exact clone of the website is in two places at the same time. So I'm going to show you the differences between Bluehost, and as I mentioned, it doesn't matter if it's Bluehost or HostGator or whatever, the results are going to be pretty similar. And then I'm also going to show you the copy of the website that is on our servers, and just so you can see the difference between performance and the speed and how much faster everything serves up. And also, one other thing that I'll note is if you are with shared hosting, then you're going to be limited on how many people can access your website at one time. And with Supreme Press, it doesn't matter if you have 100,000 people on your website at the same time. It can handle just about any load that you can imagine. And the reason that I wanted to go ahead and mention Bluehost for a moment is because it's very easy to get lured in when you see unlimited hosting space, unlimited file transfer, unlimited this, unlimited that. And then you see $5 a month. It looks really good. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't understand the differences between different types of hosting accounts, and they commonly think that hosting is hosting. So you're about to see that hosting is not created equal. So let's head over to old trusty Pingdom. And if you already have a website, I would highly recommend testing your own site as well. It's at tools.pingdom.com. So let's go ahead and test the website on the Bluehost servers. And one thing I'll go ahead and mention is it's very important to have site load time under 2 to 3 seconds. Anything more than that, you're going to be driving away a lot of customers. So as you can see, it's loading up in 5 seconds. So let's go ahead and test in a couple other areas as well. That is testing in New York. So let's try it from Dallas. Okay, still staying about 5 seconds. Let's test in Amsterdam. because it's always a good idea to test in multiple areas, so that way you can get a better idea of the average wait with your users. And we're still staying about 5 seconds. And it doesn't really matter how long it takes for the individual files to serve up. The main thing, and this is an area that a lot of people don't think of, is the actual web page itself that's being rendered. Now, usually with a WordPress site, it's not going to take as long to render the page, but in this example, there are some really heavy scripts in the background. So there's not much on the page itself, but when you have Optimized Press and Wishlist or some other type of membership plugin driving in the back end, all of that has to work together to render the page. So even if you have a blank page, it can still take 3-4 seconds to load up the page, just because everything has to be processed on the fly. So as you can see, it's taking about 3.5 seconds to just render that page. So even if you're using MaxCDN or one of these other CDN companies, it's really not going to help out too much, because the server itself is still taking 3 or 4 seconds to render the page. So let's go ahead and test the exact same website on the network. And this is going to be a direct comparison, because right now the website is only on one server on the network. We haven't propagated it out yet. And I wanted to do that as a demonstration to show an exact comparison between shared hosting servers and a dedicated server that is built for maximum performance. So as you saw in the last example, it took about 3.5-4 seconds to render the page, and we rendered the page in less than 134 milliseconds. Also, I'll go ahead and note that this is testing in Amsterdam. So whenever we test it local, it's going to be a lot more than that. And there are additional optimizations that we can do with the site, but since nothing has been changed at all, this is a direct comparison from one hosting company to another. So testing in Dallas, Texas, we're at 805 milliseconds, which is a lot better than 5 seconds. And let's go ahead and test it in New York City as well. 765 milliseconds. So if you are able to deliver your website in under a second, then that's going to offer a very, very good user experience for anyone that goes to your website. So if you have tried all the different plugins or optimizations or caching and all this other stuff, and you still cannot speed up your website, it's still really sluggish and it's taking a few seconds for everything to load, or you have a lot of users, and the more users you have, they're getting error messages, or the site won't load at all, or they're getting blocked out, what have you, then you definitely need to start looking at a performance-based web host that's going to be able to handle that traffic and serve out every single web page in under a second for you. And one thing I'll go ahead and mention, this website is on one server right now. So whenever it's propagated out to all 7 data centers at the same time, then we will be able to serve out this web page, even if we don't optimize it at all, to 98% of the world in under a second. But in this case, we're going to be doing some additional optimizations, and once we do our little magic, we'll be able to serve out the website in probably a half second or less anywhere in the world. And I'll also go ahead and show that even though 765 milliseconds looks really, really good, if you scroll down in the waterfall, you'll see the majority of the load time isn't even us. So you'll see the Twitter file right here taking 1/3 of a second, and then you can come on down and see Facebook taking a half a second. So when you start looking at the fact that that mark right there is 1/10 of a second, and then you scroll down to right here, you can see that we are actually serving out the entire web page in 0.13 seconds. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of the differences just between hosting services. And if you need help speeding up your website, or if you want to get the most out of your hosting experience, then head over to supremepress.com and get some more information, or just simply shoot me an email, dustin@sp.cm. Hopefully this has given you a better insight, and we're here if you need any help. And we also offer help livestream.com/brand personalization, Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. Take care.